Hey guys, it's Jimmy here back again, and today I'm showing off some of my brand new custom Lego Avengers Endgame figures. So if you like these videos and you'd like to see more Avengers Endgame videos, just leave a like and subscribe and comment which ones you'd like to see next. So here I've actually got Groot, Teenage Groot in specific, and Ant-Man from the movie. Yeah, so what I'll actually be doing is like 3 per video usually, but I was just starting out, so I wanted to see if everyone liked it, so I only did 2 this video, but I hope you enjoy it. So yeah, with both the figures, I was thinking about like how I would portray them, and so yeah, well, these were 2 like standout ones that I wanted to make in particular, because the Ant-Man I got was from the Endgame set that only came with the Quantum Realm suit, and I wanted his original suit because I thought like most of the time they don't even spend it in the suits. Some of the movie they do, but a lot of it they don't as well, right? So I wanted to get all their costumes. So yeah, instead of buying one, I wanted to make my own custom Ant-Man anyway, so I decided to make the suit. And then for Groot, I didn't really like the brown he was depicted in the movie. It was very inaccurate to the character, and they've been doing that for a while now for all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and all the Lego sets he's really appeared in. So I decided to go over and paint up my own Groot using the original Groot body and facial expressions, but painting around those. And then yeah, that's how I got my Groot and Ant-Man. But yeah, I'll go to more detail with Groot now. So guys, this is my Groot, and as I said earlier, I actually decided to paint around the features on the face, but everything else I've actually repainted myself. So what I did is I took an acrylic brown and mixed it with some yellow and a warm white acrylic to give it that awesome latte looking color woodish color that he has in the movie. And then after that, so I did a couple of layers of that to get the right color. And I also did that on his vine bit. And then after that, I actually went over the top of it and added some green highlights to show like the grass and the plant life coming out of him, because Groot is obviously like a humanoid tree man. And yeah, so I thought this one's turned out very well actually. And what I've actually done on the chest and the legs, if you can see, I've actually added some green highlights to look like vines and stuff going out of his feet, and like some moss and vines on like his torso where he usually is in the movie. Like his arm, actually I've added some more green vine looking stuff up that, and I made it so that it gradually went on to a brown, so it's like younger on the vine and then it gets slightly older bit like trees do, and they start off with more of like a green, and as they grow higher like they might go a bit brown because that's where less of the water flow is coming from. So yeah guys, that's about it for my Groot. I actually like the way and he's came out, and if you could see it in real life you'd be able to see that he's got like a nice texture like to him. It's like not rough, but it's like this nicer, more of a matte feel than a shiny feel, metallic feel. And then like his eyes pop out of that a bit more because I used the original Lego expressions, only altering them a tiny bit to keep the more of the Lego-esque feel. And so now I'll be moving on to my Ant-Man figure. I hope you've enjoyed the Groot one. And thanks guys. Yeah, so this Ant-Man, this one was actually a standout one I reckon in particular, even though I painted more like most of Groot fully and not all the helmet of Ant-Man. Like, I still think that this is probably my best custom so far, even if the other ones, maybe like some of them, it's good that they've got less on them, it's more effective, but this one I had to design from straight up, just fully designed it. All the paintwork, basing it off like the Hot Toys model and just what we see throughout the movies, because it's obviously the same costume as from Ant-Man and the Wasp. So yeah, so I'll start from the bottom up. So with the legs, right, I just went down the bottoms with a silver paint around the bottom like shoe part, and then painted like a bit on top of that some black to show like the bottom of his shoes being like silver and around the rims of his boots. And then on the back I added some silver, then some metallic red to give it the red that it has on the back, and the dark silver on the backs of the legs as well, like and then left some of the black there because yeah, and then I added the reds on the sides, outlining that with a silver. And then I added also the red splodges and the silver lines. And then for the belt, I think that was a black piece, like because the whole figure was pretty much black except from the helmet and the head. I just painted all the extra details on, fully painted by myself. Same with the Groot. And so I've actually done is I've painted silver around it, and then added the black lines to make up the belt look that he has. And this is actually my favorite bit of the figure, is the bit in the middle, which is like the knob he uses to change, which he like changes how like big he goes. Like, sorry, I'm not 100% if that's right. That he uses to change out the different particles and stuff. That's where he usually puts it, I'm pretty sure, and he can change the amount that's in there. I can't remember actually what it's called, but I know that it minimizes like how small you can go. So like, if you haven't seen Ant-Man, I won't talk about it because I know it came out ages ago, but I'm very spoiler conscientious with this one. But pretty much, yeah, in the movie it explains more of it if you've seen that. But yeah, if you're watching an Endgame showcase, you probably should have seen Ant-Man by now. No judgment if you haven't, but it's a really good movie, so I suggest you guys watch it. So yeah, with that knob, I actually got the end of one of my brother's guitar strings that the string had snapped, and it has these little gold bits on the end of it to keep the string inside the guitar. And so what I actually did with that is I got that, and I filed it down to about halfway to give so that it wasn't too big, and I painted it up silver. They have these holes in them. I filled that in with like a putty substance, and then I painted the whole thing silver, and then I added the red dot in the middle. Right. Blue tack works as well, I guess. Like if you just wanted to, I know that like most people wouldn't add guitar strings and stuff on them, but this is more just like what I think I like to do, because there's no real boundaries with making these custom figures, which is great. So yeah, that's actually what I did for that bit. So it gives it that 3D effect that it has in the movie, because I know most Legos don't, but like it's cool to add some 3D aspects to it. And for the hands for Ant-Man, it's hard to see, but I'll give a close-up of the figure in a minute, where I show off all the small details. They actually have red dots to show the buttons on each side of the hands. Kind of hard to see on camera, but I'll show you a close-up of that in a bit. Then up the arms, it's a bit similar design. I've painted the silver cuffs on the arms, and then I painted up red. And what I actually did is I painted the shoulders red, and then down the arm, and then I've added the silver over that. And then I've added the red bits on the elbows, similar design on each side, right? And then, well, for the front of the torso, I've actually just tried to replicate that. I know it's not fully accurate, but I thought that was a really cool looking design, and I'm happy with how it came out, starting off with a black base, just like a city figure or something, because I didn't want to wreck my Quantum Realm suits. There's no real point to do that anyways. A bit silly, but what I actually did is I took some red, right, and I did the original base, like outline, like base red on the black. And then what I've done after that is I've done the silver outlines for that, to like do the silver outlines in the suit. Now I've mixed a dark like gunmetal grey dark silver colour, and actually added like the other bits that kind of looks like abs on it for the top bit, and like doing some more outlines for that. And then on the back here, what I've done is I painted up the red bit like I did on the front, and just added the silver details. And I've got a bit of this thin cardboard, doubled it I folded it over so it's like doubled, and then I've glued it together, and then painted the whole thing this metallic silver color, this aluminum color, and then I like the rest of the figure, and then I've painted a red line down it. I was actually thinking of adding some more details, and I might in the future. If I do, I'll show you guys an update video, but for now I thought that looked really good, so I'm actually pretty content with that. I think it looks great. So yeah, that's about it. I glued that also on with some super glue with most of the things, and this is actually really strong. I know that everyone knows that, but sometimes I forget how strong it is. And then yeah, I've actually, for the helmet, I kept the original helmet, which I'll show up close, but what I've done is I painted the red tips on there that were missing. Then with the dark, so this is actually why I originally mixed the dark silver color. was that I could get the carbon fiber type look on the top of the helmet. And yeah, so I painted that on. And then I also painted I finished off the red because there was a bit of red missing on the top of it, just above the lenses that Lego hadn't fully printed on there, which is like every figure, but you can't really notice it, but I thought I would go all the way with that just because I could. And then I've added the little red markings on each side that show the pin particles flowing through the helmet. And yeah, and then the disc type things on the side of the head, I've done that dark metallic silver. You probably can't see it on camera, but I think it looks really good. And then, you can't see this, but I'll show you. You'll be able to see it in the close-up. I've actually painted the silver around the neck, so it goes into the helmet a bit better. But yeah, and I also forgot to mention that I've added the dark silver along with the regular silver on the legs to give it that look that it does in the movies. And guys, yeah, I'll move on to the close-ups and you guys can see what I'm talking about. So guys, I hope you can see it a bit better, what I mean. But yeah, I'll show, so that's a bit more of a close-up. This is the figure turned around a bit more close-up, so you can see what I mean, type things. So yeah guys, there's the helmets, and you can see the dark metallic silver on there and the red bits a bit better. Gunmetal grey type colour. So yeah, that's the top of the helmet. And guys, what I forgot to mention earlier is that I actually took the pull rod head from the Ant-Man, even though it's not accurate. To make it a little bit more accurate, I've actually, instead of painting a whole new face, I've added just some really like cool little stubble, trying to copy Lego's design type thing for the stubble, for like just the regular dots they usually use. And yeah, I forgot to mention also is that I've added the little silver bit on just under the head. So on the back, I haven't painted the stubble because I was worrying they would get scratched off, but amazingly it actually doesn't get scratched off on the front with the regular helmet, but I don't know if it was on the back. And here guys, as you can see, there's the silver neck I've painted on there, and the red dots on the hands. Here guys, there's a close-up of the back. There's a close-up of Ant-Man's helmet. There's side discs where it's got the paint on. And yeah guys, that's the end of the video. I'm really happy how the white turned out, and I actually didn't think it would turn out that well underneath it, and it looks really good. So I'm happy that it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed that recording style. It's a bit different than usual. My last two videos, I've only made 2 videos, so I'm sort of still in the experimenting stage with what works and what doesn't work. And yeah, please leave a like and subscribe if you like that the content, and just let me know which other Endgame figures you'd like to see next. Anyways, that's Jimmy's Custom Reviews episode, first episode on the Endgame figures. Thanks and bye.